Joining us right now is the country manager for Paramount Africa in Nigeria, Dr. Bada Akintunde Johnson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm calling you Bada.
Yeah.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Feels fantastic to be here. First off, you guys are doing an incredible job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I must commend you, and I feel very privileged to be here, sitting right in the middle of this phenomenal woman.
Good to have you. So we know that you're handling the Africa Creative Markert and Global Tech out of Africa events coming up very soon. Tell us about the theme for this year. What exactly is your theme and how did you come about it for this year?
So first off, Africa Creative Markert starts on the 2nd of November, runs through to the 7th. And the first one happened last year. The idea behind Africa Creative Markert essentially is to create a platform, a property that connects practitioners within the Africa creative ecosystem with their counterparts from elsewhere in the world, particularly the developed world. So last year we had over 60 creative executives from Hollywood, from Europe, from different parts of the world, South America, come right here and stay 5-6 days just basically discussing successful business models, collaboration opportunities, opportunities for investment with our guys. But most importantly, for us primarily, Africa Creative Markert is an opportunity for upskilling our people. Okay. So the focus is more on capacity building. So you'd have workshops, master classes facilitated by these guys who've got more experience, who've got more, I would say, exposure, and that's no disrespect to our guys. It's just what it is. It's just, basically ensuring that there's some knowledge transfer that's happening without people needing to travel to the other side. It's not everyone who can go to film schools abroad or whatever. So we try to collaborate with...
Close the gap.
Yeah, with, global entities. Like last year, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation actually put some money behind a program called Thrive, which focused on training filmmakers here. And there was monies for people producing short films as well. Yeah. Someone walked away from there with $10,000, which was a grant for them to shoot a short film. Someone went home with £10,000 as well, which was another grant for a short film. So it was those kind of opportunities. People met mentors and kept those relationships going.
Okay, let me get some more questions in for you.
So you've touched on what I wanted to go, but I would like to hear more. Aside from the event that happened last year, the Creative Markert, did you get more positive feedback after last year's event that made you to say, okay, this has to continue?
Absolutely. So this year's event is actually focused on some of the issues that the first one threw up. So as I said, we brought policymakers, we brought corporate entities, we brought people in the development space together. We brought government in the room, and we discussed common areas of interest. So what are the challenges, and what are the strategies that we need to put in place to solve those challenges, to surmount them, to drive growth, drive development within the space. So this year, we're going into how to activate those action plans that we identified last year. So it's a progression on what we did last year, and that's the whole point, that year on year, we can track how we're moving the industry along. So it's not just a fancy, feel-good, box-ticking exercise. Exactly. It's not one of those conferences or festivals, which is why for us, it's a market. And what happens in the market is you want people to be able to bring ideas, find funding, find partnerships, and be able to monetize. And then you want to have testimonials. You want people to be able to say, last year I came here with my passion and an idea. Today I have a portfolio. This is the number of people I'm hiring. These are the projects I've worked on. So that's what it is.
So moving into the tech, and this is the inaugural for the Global Tech Africa. Yeah. What exactly is that going to be about, and what does it entail? What's the benefit?
So similar to the Africa Creative Markert, this was a platform envisioned to create opportunities to drive growth within the tech ecosystem. Okay. So DLD is one of Europe's biggest tech conferences. So January this year, we went and did a partnership with them so that they can bring all of their expertise this side So A.C.M Studio Foundations, in partnership with the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, are actually the key drivers of these particular initiative, bringing also the academia. So you have the Herbert Wigwe Foundation, as well as the university, how university also involved, so that all of the assets they bring from a research and development standpoint, you can marry that with policy. You have government in the room represented by NITDA, an agency that is actually primarily saddled with the responsibility of driving growth in the tech space, as well as development agencies, all of the NGOs that have been focusing on getting funding for guys in the tech ecosystem, as well as the guys themselves. You bring everyone together to have conversations. So after the partnership was signed at DLD in Germany in January, we held a summit here in July, I think, where we brought all of the critical stakeholders together under one roof to kind of like set the tone for the conference, which happens later in November.
Yeah. So you talk about partnership. You mentioned the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So are there any specific initiatives or projects, especially this year, that you have that can help attendees?
So one of the features of this year is that there's going to be a training for 10,000 people. And I just want to read just so that I don't miss out on any of the details.
Okay.
So 10,000 recipients will be trained in 12 different areas that are in need of reform and resources in Africa, especially in Nigeria. The training will spread across local communities and cities, and a keen focus will be on women. So we're also driving diversity and inclusion. So for A.C.M, for instance, there's a focus on children's content. And there's not a lot of development, you would agree with me. There's not a lot of children animation on TV. There's not a lot of children actors who are making it into like mainstream movies and all that. So you want to dedicate a day to bringing practitioners together to discuss the challenges. What do we have to do specifically to facilitate growth in these areas? So for women particularly, last year we had the first ever Women in Film and Television International Conference on African soil. And that's a body that virtually all women practitioners in film and television globally belong to. They have God knows how many chapters across the world. They all came down last year. Most of the chapters were represented. We had members of cast from the Black Panther on Nigerian soil last year, just before the release of the last one. So it's that sort of stature that that both events have, the capacity to attract the best of the best from an executive standpoint, from an experience standpoint, from people who can sort of move the needle, make things happen standpoint. And you bring them together with our local professionals and have them sit under the same roof for 5-6 days, just exchanging ideas and finding ways they can work together.
When is this event? How can people contact them?
So first off, Africa Creative Markert is starts on the 2nd with an opening at
2nd of December?
No, 2nd of November.
Okay.
Yes. So the U.S. Consulate hosts the opening event. It's a cocktail event at the residence of the U.S. Consulate in Ikoyi. And then from the 3rd, which is Friday, if I'm correct, Friday, there's Music Day, which is curated by Paramount, MTV based to be specific. And Music Day will feature workshops, seminars, panel discussions, featuring some of the biggest names within the music space, discussing the challenges, discussing the opportunities, holding masterclasses, teaching people, collaborating with people. So the verticals for A.C.M are 4, the main ones really. There's film, there's fashion, there's dance, and there is music. And you have days dedicated to these specific areas so that we can have enough opportunity to really unpack. Last year, the WIFTI Summit held over 2 days. But this year, I think film has 1 day. Then you have other ancillary areas like photography represented as well. You have intellectual property. It has a dedicated day this year. So you really want to have sort of a robust program that leaves no area untouched. Even though you'd agree with me that it's impossible to sort of cover, to cover everything, but you want every practitioner within the space to feel like they come to a space where they can be heard and where they can make very critical, partnerships and connections.
Okay, so I will not let you go without talking about sustainability. As we know, it's a global issue, and I was
Yeah.
wondering if there are discussions or initiatives around that
Yeah.
and how we here, we can practice creativity in a more environmentally conscious way.
Sustainability is a big conversation the world over, and we can't be talking about diversity and inclusion and not speak about and not speak about that. So, especially because the partnerships that we attract are from parts of the world where these things are like big ticket, items and discussions. So, this year, part of the program, especially for GTA, which by the way runs through November 16th all the way to November 19th. So A.C.M. again, 2nd of November to the 7th. GTA starts on the 16th, ends on the 19th. How to register? Go on the website. For A.C.M., it is www.africaglobalmarket.com. And then for GT, I'm just going to pull it up now. But sustainability is a big area of focus for us on both platforms.
Right, thank you so much, Dr. Akintunde Bada, for coming.
For having me.
It's a pleasure having you, and we wish you all the best on the event coming up.
Thanks, and I look forward to having you attend some of our sessions.
I'd love to. Send us an invite. We'll be there.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do that.
All right, that's all we can take on this segment. We'll come back to continue the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.